Hello and welcome to some Messerschmitt Bf-110B gameplay. This first game is on Pacific Ocean. It's actually, oh no, it's not that long, let's go 1.5.1. As you see, we are top tier, and it seems we have an altitude advantage on our enemies. I make a bit of a mistake here and target the Focke-Wulf 57 when the Bf-109B is the much larger threat. But I do manage to get some very effective fire into that Focke-Wulf 57. But the 109B is now chasing me, which is annoying, but I did get an assist on the Focke-Wulf. And the 109 is very fixed on me, and I've also got a Key 43 and something else, I didn't quite see what it was, coming up to get me. But I'll just loop over, see if I can't put any shots into 109, who tries to get around me, but I still get a few shots in, and then just run away because the 109B can outturn me pretty easily, even at these altitudes. Look around, I'm almost, well, just going 900 meters away from him. Got a Hawk 75 1.2 and a Key 43 1.2 kilometers away. Just nose up a bit to gain a bit more altitude. Turn on the boost, put it into a loop. And let's see if we can't do some damage to the 19B. Oh, he's going head on. There's a kill. Key 43 by turning onto the Hawk 75M since it is the, well, easier target. I also think it's the most dangerous target as it's at a higher altitude. Fortunately decides to go head on with me, and I get the second kill. Using my boost to regain some altitude and speed. And the Hawk 75 is coming onto my friendly P-36's tail, so I'll put some shots in here. I miss horribly, and I'm not going to get into that dogfight since, well, both the enemy aircraft there can outturn me. But if you look on the minimap, I did cause the Hawk 75 to break off. I just had to drive down on this Hawk 75M. There seem to be a lot of them in this game, just to try and free up my friendly Hawk 75, and because these, you know, same aircraft dogfights seem a bit indecisive, but I can't aim, sadly enough. So I pull up, I feel pretty safe, so I turn around, even though we're at really low altitude. But our friendly Hawk 75 manages to take out his opponent. And here I respot the Hawk 75 and the Key 43. I target the Key 43 because that pilot has a lot of kills. It's probably the most dangerous, and you can see why when the pilot successfully evades me. Hawk 75's killed, but I dive on the TSH-3. Don't get the kill though, but I did a fair bit of damage to that guy. Pull up to try and put some distance between me and the Key 43. Its guns just really can't do much damage to me anyway. It breaks off and I pull back around. Key 43 managed to get an ace medal. And I thought for a second there he was going to go head on with me, but he broke off. So I did a bit of damage, and Tower Gunner does a bit more to him. And then I see a Bf-110C coming in. So I go evasive as soon as I come within firing distance. And, well, 110C largely misses its shots. And now I've got a huge advantage since I can outturn and outrun the 110C, and I'm really looking forward to that dogfight, but the game wins before I can kill it. Here are the end plates. You see I did damage to a lot of aircraft, got a couple of kills and an assist. Third most damage on my team, third most experience on my team, highest damage to aircraft on my team. 12% accuracy, which isn't great, but it's pretty alright. Now this second game is one that I had today. It's on the new National Park map, which I actually really like. The old National Park map was about my least favourite map. Actually, it wasn't about my least favourite map, it was my least favourite map. But I'm quite liking this new one so far. So I start off climbing up slowly, but I decide not to use my boost at first, and instead I kind of level out at 1300 meters. Actually, I think it's nearer to 2000, but 1300 above the ground. But I change my mind when I see the opposing 110B has used their boost and has an altitude advantage. I put a few shots in, but it went... Well, I thought it went evasive, but in retrospect I think it actually just targeted the fighter aircraft behind me. But I've viewed the 110B as the biggest threat, so I'm going to focus it down before I focus on any other fighters. But I shoot horribly and do no damage there. Come back around, put some more shots in and actually get some hits this time, although not anywhere near enough. Here we go, those are some good hits. I really don't like manoeuvring this low, but I feel that I have to kill this 110B. Simply because it's the only aircraft on the enemy team that can, you know, stick with me if I decide to run away. Goes head on. I try to pull up, but leave it a bit late. But, well, I get a ram kill. And now I've got to regain some of that altitude I lost. Come down the I-16, but it goes evasive. See the TSH-3 flying real slow, and put some big hits in there. Now I pull up and climb again to basically repeat my dive through these enemy aircraft. I'm looking at 3 and I see the I-16 early is climbing up after our Focke-Wulf 57, and it appears to have stalled, which means it's not going to be able to go evasive, and I should be able to kill it fairly effectively, even from full health. Wait till I'm in nice and close. There we go, second kill, nice and easy. Here's the other I-16. Must see me coming and immediately goes evasive. And I get some hits in there, but it's really not effective. Pull up and fire down on the TSH-3 and get a kill. My third. And then pull up to get some distance to return down to the I-16, but I see a third I-16 coming head on with me. And I'm going to take that any day of the week. 4 kills. And at this point I realise my friendly Focke-Wulf 57 has decided to try and dogfight an I-16, which predictably enough doesn't work out that well for him. So it's now a 2-on-2 dogfight. Both have a heavy fighter and both have a Soviet light fighter, so it's very much an easy game. I see the I-16 go evasive, and my plan at this point is to essentially break off, join up with my I-17 ally, hopefully get him to pin down this I-16 so it won't evade my shots as it has the last 3 occasions. But of course my ally crashes as the enemy Focke-Wulf 57 arrives. So now I am fighting a 2-on-1 engagement with very low health. I go high because I know at high altitudes I can outrun both these aircraft, but at high altitudes I have a particular advantage. Use my speed and power advantage to essentially get the Focke-Wulf 57 here to stall at an altitude where the I-16 can't really aid it. Come around behind and Put some shots in. Fortunately, not very effective since I couldn't quite turn tight enough. Go up, reduce the throttle, come down on top of it. Put some shots through, then try and accelerate in front of its guns. Roll over. At this point the Focke-Wulf 57 levels out, flies straight and level, I'm assuming with the hope that his I-16 ally would be able to come on my tail and kill me. But with my altitude and speed advantage, I'm pretty effectively out of the I-16's range. And I get my ace medal. This is now a one-on-one engagement with that I-16, who has proven pretty annoying at its ability to avoid my attacks. But it does a smart thing and disengages. I'm assuming, or what I thought was happening here, was the I-16 would turn and fly towards the enemy's base, because, well, it's proving effective at defending against my attacks. It also isn't really able to attack me, or, you know, kill me. So I'm thinking it would fly back to its base, try and engage me there, and use the anti-aircraft guns to essentially kill me for it. But I don't see it yet. I think I might be flying a bit too high to spot it if it's gone low to the ground, so I reduce my altitude. And I am painfully aware that the I-16's team actually has the supremacy advantage. So if I do not kill it fairly quickly, we're going to lose the game. So I'm flying over the enemy's base now, 1200 meters altitude, so I should be able to spot the I-16 even if it was very low to the ground. And it's not here. So I'm thinking the I-16, originally I thought it might have gone towards the very southern corner and tried to hide out there, but I've got no guarantee of that, and it could be anywhere. So I decided I'm going to have to go after ground targets, try and fight the supremacy battle, and maybe it will come and fight me and I'll be able to kill it. So I put some shots in this convoy, get enemy unit damaged, but 110's guns, they're better than most at killing ground targets, but not great. Here's where I screw up. I don't notice the I-16 on the minimap and instead reduce my engine power to turn back around the ground targets. And when I do notice it, it's too late for me to essentially power away, and I'm stuck trying to turn over the I-16 and hoping it can't manage it and stall, but with my health, simply wasn't enough, and the I-16 won. Very well played. Turns out I flew directly over it earlier, so it must have gone to ground and when I was at high altitude and hit out down there somewhere. So well played I-16. Bit of custard I can't win, but 5 kills and 12% accuracy is still a pretty good game in my book. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.